The new Audi A7 Sportback. It's been 3 years since the A7 has seen a facelift, and now it's time for a new model. In the past, new models were joined by hostesses in bikinis, but these days that's not accepted anymore, so you can feast your eyes on a few automotive reporters, just not in a bikini. The A7 borrowed some tech from the A8, like the laser headlights and LIDAR. The optional 21-inch alloys look fantastic and truly complete the profile of the car. Another novelty from the A8, OLED brake lights with an animation reminiscent of Knight Rider. This boot is suitably sizable, although the sloping roof means you might not be able to transport very tall objects. Okay, this sound doesn't actually exist. The rear spoiler lifts automatically at higher speeds, but you can also do it manually. The optional tinted windows don't just give the car a tinge of mysteriousness and aggressiveness, but also lower the interior temperature on days when the sun is particularly brutal. The interior of the A7 is similar to a smaller A8. All of these screens are digital, missing only the touch-sensitive controls for opening and closing of the air vents. And just like the A8, glass and piano black plastics are used liberally. Looks good at first, but gets dirty very quickly. Your butler will need to wipe the surfaces down every day. I think it goes without saying the seats are ready for longer trips, while the passengers in the rear have their own climate control display. The new A7 is a car that will not go unnoticed. If not because it's a bigger, more expensive Audi, then because of its interesting rear shape. Inside the A7 now, it does remind me of the A8. They are similarly large cars, but especially the interior. I've got a digital instrument cluster, and I've got two displays over here. One big one for the navigation and infotainment, and another one below it, just like in the A8, for the climate controls. So that's pretty much identical. The interior is, of course, different. It's quite interesting. You've got this little shelf just below the air vents, and well, the steering wheel. This is an S-Line one. It's very nice, of course, perforated, feels good. The car itself, you can set it to dynamic mode, for example, if you want to drive sportily, and the suspension will stiffen. And it's actually pretty nice in the corners, despite the fact that it's such a big, heavy car. And of course, the engine, the 3-liter V6 diesel, which is very, very civilized when you don't push it, but when you want to hear it, which you usually will, you'll want to open the windows and listen to that lovely sound. There's a very strange thing, however. I'm not sure if I'm missing something, but if I put the car into dynamic and sport mode, it's still, when you put your foot down, it takes my foot down. It's a good a second and a half until something happens. It does happen a lot afterwards, but I don't know, I must be missing some options. Currently, there are two engines available, a petrol and diesel. The latter has 210 kilowatts, while the petrol 250. As far as extra equipment goes, you can choose a lot. From four-wheel turning, head-up displays and laser headlights to a door-closing system and an €8,000 Bang & Olufsen advanced sound system. The base A7 with a diesel engine starts at €81,500, while the petrol model with all of the extras will cost you over €143,000.